Decoding the have to, an exploration of external obligations. Hello, English learners around the world. Welcome back to our English language learning series. Today, we're going to unlock the secret world of English modal verbs, specifically focusing on have to. We'll see how this modal verb can be used to express external obligations. Let's dive right in. Have to is a modal verb phrase used to express necessity or obligation. When we say that someone has to do something, we mean it's necessary. They are required or compelled to do it. Often, this necessity comes from outside, a rule, law, or someone else's requirement. Let's see how we can use have to in our everyday English. In the present tense, we use have to talk about rules, laws, or obligations that are true now. For example, I have to go to work every day. This means that it's my obligation to go to work every day, probably because my job requires it. Note: we use have to for all pronouns. I, you, we, they, except for he, she, it. For these, we use has to. For example, she has to take her medicine every day. In the past tense, we use had to talk about rules or obligations that were true in the past. For example, yesterday, I had to finish all my assignments. This means that it was my obligation to finish all my assignments yesterday, perhaps because my teacher required it. To form the negative, we simply add not, after, have, or has. It's commonly contracted as don't have to or doesn't have to. For example, you don't have to pay for the tickets, they're free. This means that it's not necessary for you to pay for the tickets. To form questions with have to, we reverse the subject and have, has. For example, do you have to work tomorrow? This question is asking if it's necessary for you to work tomorrow. Understanding how to use have to for expressing external obligations can help make your English more natural and fluent. Keep practicing, and remember, learning a language is a journey, not a race. In the next video, we'll explore the usage of need to. Until then, keep practicing and happy learning.